Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this recap video, we are wandering now into the time of year, happens 4 times a year, where the tail wags the dog, meaning certain equities names are going to have the ability to affect our index futures. So if you think about what the weighting of something like the S&P or NASDAQ are, and you think about the individual sectors that will be affected by, for example, tomorrow's bank releases. This is where understanding the major holdings and the stock weighting is going to be a big factor. Financials are 15% of the S&P. So if I then take the understanding of what the XLF is, and then I go back, and I'm going to open another workspace here and show you. So you see a lot of workspaces here. Here's my index, XLF. And then I open that up, and then I know what the heavily weighted names are within the XLF, and I think about how those heavily weighted names are going to impact my stock and my ETF. This is where we all sort of become stock traders for a portion of the time during earnings season. Now, here's the process I use to manage this time of year. I use a site called Estimize. That's number one. And I'll program within Estimize the heavily weighted names. So it's estimize.com. Then I'll go put in Berkshire, I'll put in JP Morgan, Facebook, Wells, etc., right? So they're programmed in. So Estimize will let me know when, let's go back on over here. Estimize will let me know when the earnings are coming. So there's Friday, right? Bank of America's Monday, Goldman's Tuesday. So along this list are a lot of those heavily weighted names that are going to impact my equities plays in the S&P. Because remember, the S&P is, after all, an equities play. It's the ES, but it's also financials. Well, it's number one, tech. 25%, financials, another 15%, then healthcare. So those three, and then I'll throw consumer cyclicals in there too, but tech, financials, healthcare. I pull up XLK or QQQ, XLF, and XLV. The heavily weighted names within those ETFs are the stocks that I will plug in to the Estimize site. And then I'll know when those sectors are in play and can in turn affect my index futures, because we are all equities players when we're looking at the index futures. So that's where we're heading into. That's the process that I use, and that's the website that I use. So it's pretty simple, right? Know your index or ETF, because it's going to apply. Go get the weightings. You can get the weightings from a site like ETFDB. This is one that I use almost exclusively. ETFDB, as in database, etfdb.com. You plug in, let's say we plug in the QQQ. We do a search, and then I click on holding, and I'll get the names. That's how you populate the multi-chart, so you can keep an eye on what those heavily weighted names are within the different Russell, S&P, NASDAQ, whatever, right? Dow, the XLK ETF, the XLF ETF, whatever it may be. That's how you look at what's inside. It's almost like dissecting. So use Estimize, use etfdb.com, create the layout like this, and then you'll understand better how these different sector breakdowns will affect us as equities traders. And in the premium video, I'm going to talk a lot about the zone in crude oil, the zone in gold, the zone in S&P, the zone in the NASDAQ that I'm looking for as we're going into the final trading day of the week, as we go into a weekend where China's up in the air, Syria's up in the air, maybe Mueller's job is up in the air. We have a lot going on in these markets. So we'll talk about that next in the premium video.